Welcome to this demo of WebinarHD. Here you are at the login screen. You can log in with Facebook, Google+, or LinkedIn, or you can simply use your email address and password. Now, if you forget your password, you can go ahead and reset right here. Just sign in. When you sign in, you get to the dashboard. Here you can see the total registrants and the total number of attendees for all of your webinars. Now, if you want to create your webinar, you do it so here. You can do an instant webinar here, or you can do a live webinar. That way you can stream to Facebook or YouTube. Now you can do the same thing by selecting this button, Instant or Live. Over here you can see Help. Going into Help, you will be able to see all of these different options. You've got your dashboard, you can see all the tutorials about creating a webinar. These are tutorials about my webinars, the webinar room, and settings. That's all located in Help. Inside the dashboard Help section, you can just see here's where we see the tutorials. So if you're looking for help, you just go there. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. On the dashboard, there's a slide out panel. This is where you can see which account you're in, what plan you're on, and which accounts are currently active. And then you can log out or see your profile. On the profile page, you can see your name, your email, and then of course you can reset your password from this screen. You can also set an avatar. Okay, back here from the dashboard, you can go ahead and begin your instant webinar. On here, you're going to start by giving your webinar a title. This is just for your reference. So for example, I would do Q&A webinar. And then here, you can give it a webinar title. Now this title will show up on your registration page. So I'm going to do Q&A monthly, for example. And then here, I'm going to select the start date. So let's say, for example, the 8th of October and the time 3 p.m. Here in the webinar description, this will show up on your registration page. You can do Q&A, monthly call, for example. And then I'll say, don't forget to come with your questions. Now you can select whether somebody can see the replay. So you can either toggle it on or off. In this case, people will see the replay. And here you can also add a custom buy button to your replay page that can go to your checkout page or to your PayPal if you want here. Or check this out, you can add an affiliate link if you're doing, say, an interview with a product creator. How's that for nice? On the next screen, this is where you put your webinar presenters. So if I'm going to invite other presenters, I can go ahead and put their name, email address, and I can even add a bio. So for example, I'll do Danny, and I'll do the email address here. And then I could just do anything in the brief bio, just co-host. I can now select whether I want to have this be a presenter or a moderator. And then I click add and go to next. This is where you can upload your logo. So this is your branding page. This logo will end up on your registration page. So I'll just choose one right here. And you can see I've pulled that logo in. I can also change the colors if I want, right from this screen. Here's the title, here's the title description, and here's the date and time. Now, you can also choose if you want to show videos on your registration page, on your thank you page, or on your waiting for broadcast page. If you're looking to retarget and you just put your pixels right in here, that's where your pixels are going to go. Now, if you don't want to use the thank you page from WebinarHD, you can use your own thank you page. You just put the URL right here. I'm going to go over here to next to notifications. This is where you can choose whether or not you want to send out notifications. This one is on by default. You can choose where replies will be sent to. So for this case, I'm going to go ahead and put support@webinarhd.com. And I am choosing to send the confirmation registration, also a reminder 1 day before, an hour before, 15 minutes before. Now, if you think that's too much, just click it off. That's up to you. After the webinar has finished, 1 day after, I want to follow up with the attendees by sending a replay link. That way they can see the replay. Okay, there's also space here to add any custom text to the emails that are going out. Coming over here to room configuration. This is in the webinar room. This is where you can upload presentations. You can also import registrants. Okay, so to import registrants, you'd want to do that if you're running a webinar, if you've run a webinar before and you want to import those registrants into a new webinar. For example, we do a monthly Q&A. So if I do my first monthly Q&A, I'm going to go import registrants and add my registrants into my next Q&A so that I can have them in my next monthly webinar. You can upload your slides. I do recommend that you use a PDF. They're not as large, so they're quite effective and they do the job really well. So in this case, I will just go ahead and upload this one. And you can see that the presentation is here. I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to create the webinar. And at this point, the webinar is uploading the presentation and also is sending out the emails to the co-hosts. And once it's finished, you can see congratulations, your webinar has been successfully created. And then here you'll find the webinar link. You can copy it to the clipboard and put it in an email, for example. You can also share it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+. From here, you can go to My Webinars. And now you can see, you can either do that from the top menu button or the button I just clicked. You can see your upcoming events and your past events. Here you can see the webinar that I just created. You can see, remember, it was October 8th at 3 p.m. The actions I can take are start the webinar here. I can copy the link here. I can edit my webinar from here. That's if I've forgotten something or need to change something, I can do that here. Now this button here is used to get your embed code if you want to embed your registration page onto your own website. You grab that embed code right here. And then I can delete the webinar if I want to. On past webinars, you can see the title, what type of webinar it is, what date it was running, and of course, you can find the invite link for the replay here. And when I click on this button, it takes me over to the replay. You can see the buy button right here, and you can see that there's an affiliate link on the left-hand side underneath. That's where it's going to go to so people can buy. From here, I can click on upload to YouTube. That takes me to this screen here where I can go ahead and select which account to upload to, for example. And now it is going through the process of adding it to YouTube. The reason you'd want to do this is so that you can get more views on your replay. So that's a great way to be able to do it. Just super easy, seamless. It's also great to use YouTube as a video hosting service if you want to add it to your website. This is another reason to upload to YouTube. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see the chat. This chat was actually before the webinar began. But as the replay, when you do the replay, you will see the chat come in the same timing that it came in during the webinar itself. If you want to turn that feature off and not show the chat, you can do that as well. Okay, now the speech bubble icon that looks like a bubble in a cartoon, for example,